This is a question for you, Chadwick. My question is Moore getting a lot of interviews from people interested in his book? I bet since Tucker Carlson is the enemy of the idiots who work for propaganda mafia, lots of controlled media don't want to give him a platform.
Oh yeah, we've gotten like no mainstream media on this book attention. The Daily Mail has done some stories from other places, but I was banned from Fox News within 2 hours of us announcing the book.
What does that look like? How do they notify you? Is it unwritten or is it actually written?
Well, it is written somewhere. It's called the Do Not Book List, and it is a very extensive list of people who are not allowed on Fox News, and everyone knows about this list. But for what happened to me, so I was a regular on Greg Gutfeld's show, which was I was on once a month, usually the last week of the month, so it was like a pretty regular thing. I knew it was coming up, and I was already booked to be on May 31st. It was, and then we announced the book a few days before that, and got an email kicking me off. And then I was on a couple other Fox shows. They, of course, canceled those upcoming appearances. And then Greg Gutfeld blocked me on Twitter, which was like so weird and bizarre just after this book. So, I bet like if you're like, you can't say Tucker's name on air at Fox. You can't, and anyone who's affiliated with him is totally banned. You cannot say his name on air. That directive went out the day his show was taken off the air. Someone at Fox told me that. Like, we can't say his name. No show can say his name. But that's like part of the course with Fox is they pretend anyone who used to work there, whether they left on good terms or bad terms or whatever, Fox completely unpersons them. Like they pretend they never existed. You'll look at like the Five not too long ago did this kind of, they're celebrating like their 5-year anniversary or 10-year anniversary or something. And they did this kind of like memory reel or whatever they do. And they literally scrubbed people out like Eric Bolling, who founded the show, who are no longer at the network. And like, in that Stalin-esque way you delete people from photographs.
I've got to ask for some details on this. How do they make known this policy to not mention Tucker Carlson's name?
It was a memo that went out to all the producers the day after his show was taken off the air. So someone on a different show told me that. And then, of course, you watch Fox. So you can do, people who work there have showed me this. You can search. They have access to this database where you can search the transcripts, every transcript of every Fox show for like words. And so they showed me like Tucker. And it's like one time since, and it was somebody accidentally saying it one time since April 24th.
Or they might have been just talking about someone who was tucking their, I don't know, tucking.
Yeah. They're talking about swimsuits at Target, maybe.
I've got another running theory. High school never ends. It just gets bigger and more and fancier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
I think that's true as well. Yeah.
The do not book list or the do not book.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No. I would like to. I mean, I know names that are on it, like Ann Coulter, and I mean, you can think of tons. Anyone who's really popular on the right who's never been on Fox is on that list for some reason. And sometimes, from what I understand, from what people tell me, it could be like, they said something, they tweeted something controversial once, or it could be maybe just someone doesn't like them, like there's a personal beef.
Fox News is no better than CNN, with the maybe save and except to the fact that they cover some articles. Some news. Oh my God. I didn't realize it was this bad. Gutfeld.
Oh yeah. I've known about this list forever. And I remember that because there were times when like I wouldn't be booked for a couple months and people would be like, oh, it's not like they do not book list. Sometimes it's not permanent. You're on it for like a couple months because you said something controversial. So they wanted to calm down.
You're on timeout.
And then you're welcome back on. Like you're then off the list and then you're on the list. But then some people are like definitely on it like permanently. And I mean, now I'm obviously on it permanently, which is like totally fine. Who cares?
But that is to say then, and I don't want to put anybody else on the spot, Jesse Waters and the other, free speakers on the show, they know not to say Tucker's name, despite whatever loyalty or friendship they may have had. They have to play by this if they want to keep their jobs at Fox. Part of me wants to judge them for being complicit in this, but I know that that's not fair.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's funny. It's interesting because Tucker did an interview with Adam Carolla recently, and he actually kind of addresses this exact thing. I think he's probably perhaps specifically talking about his old colleagues. Where he says that like, these people, these anchors, like they're constantly told by management that they're worthless, that they're so easily replaceable. And for the most part, they are all completely replaceable and forgettable. Not everyone, but most of them. And so he's just like, it's this mentality these people have to just not step out of line and that, that they're nothing without the network. They need the network. And so they just fall into line and they're all become company men at the end of the day. And I guess in a way, I mean, when you're making that kind of money, like, I don't know, what would we all do in that situation? Of course, there's another part of me that thinks like, well, how much money is enough. Maybe it is time you stand up for something you believe in.
I mean, especially how much money is enough, but also how do you affect change if you never attempt to affect change? I mean, but then also just that I would be ready just to like, I am ready. I don't even share Fox News articles anymore. I just go find another source that has the same story.
Me too.
Then the other question that I had was, Gutfeld blocked you. Mm-hmm. I don't think you said anything bad about Gutfeld. Even if it were bad, I don't think you even said anything that could be misconstrued as insulting in the book. Did you mention Gutfeld in the book?
No, I thought I was quite nice about Fox News in the book, at least in the early chapters. And you read it.
Nicer than you deserved, than you ought to have been. But I could
probably. No, I said nothing. Greg's name, I don't think even comes up in the book, except maybe just referentially, not anything like that. No, I tweeted that his show had taken me off the air because of the book. I've renounced it, which is fact. Not him personally, because I know it wasn't him personally. I know it was the network, and I know he wouldn't. To his credit,
by blocking.
And to his credit, I know that he is Team Tucker, and that drives him insane. And so I never was like, Greg is a bad person. Well, now I have different opinions of him, but but I was kicked off the show, not him. But that was enough for him to. He's blocked. He's like an insane blocker, though. I found out because people with like 20 followers on Twitter get blocked by him. He's one of those people that blocks everyone.
Do you know if the folks at Fox, do they manage their own accounts, or do they have handlers that manage their accounts, and do they use block lists maybe?
I think it depends on the individual. It seems pretty clear that Greg runs his own Twitter account. Well, there's the show's account, and then there's his personal account. Mm-hmm. I think looking at the tweets, it's pretty clear that's him. Well, I know it's him because he would DM me from that account. But so I think it just depends on the personality.
He went from DMing you to blocking you. That's mature, Greg. I'm talking to you, Gutfeld. If you watch this afterwards,
exactly. That was hurtful. I thought we were friends, Greg.
Wow.